Hey, guys, this is the first 1 hour grind weapon review. You might be asking, nobody watches your channel. That's true. But you also might be asking, what is this? And this is where I use a gun that is in this game that I usually play that nobody watches, use it for an hour straight, and see where I will be with it. Now, I use my secondary account for this because I've used pretty much about every gun on my other account. So I had to use my secondary account, and even then, there were still some kills, but nothing too significant, like 20 kills. So it wasn't like that hard, that much of a difference. But we're gonna, see if the gun is worth grinding the fuck out of when you have it. Because, like, usually when you unlock something, you want to use it, or you don't want to use the starter shit, even though starter shit could be pretty good. So the first video is the M4, if you didn't already realize, because that's the gameplay of it. Now, right now, the damage of the M4 is 34 at close and 19 at range, which is pretty good. Its overall accuracy is a 30, its hip-fire accuracy is a 46, and its sight accuracy is a 43. Now, we're going to go into advanced stats of the M4. Its time to kill is 12 seconds, which is the fastest in the entire Carbine category. Its headshot multiplier is 1.4, and its torso multiplier is 1.0. So it doesn't really matter. You're not getting any extreme differences from that. Its muzzle velocity is, what's it called? 2,200 studs per second, which is second highest in class. What's it called? Its penetration depth is 1 stud, which is, I'm thinking the highest for the carbines. I think the lowest is 0.5, as some carbines have, and its suppression is 0.5. We have the fastest reload in class. It's tied with the M4A1, right? Its reload is 2.3 seconds with some bullets in the mag, and 2.7 when the mag is completely empty. The weapon walk speed is 14, which is a standard for all carbines, but its aiming walk speed is 9.7, which is second fastest aim walk speed in the class, tied with the M4A1. Now that we got all the boring shit out of the way, I'm going to tell you how I feel about the M4A1. This gun's very, very good at close range due to that 34 damage and that 950 fire rate. Now, the fire modes for the M4 is burst and semi-automatic. Now, nobody's using semi-automatic. It's just fucking stupid. So, burst. Now, not many people like burst weapons, and it's because, oh, it's a burst. I hate shooting one burst, then having to shoot another burst. Well, that's where you're stupid. You can make burst fire weapons automatic by spamming the click or timing your clicks in a way that one burst succeeds the other burst, making the gun automatic. That 950 fire rate is faster than the FAMAS. You can probably outgun a FAMAS with this. Now let me get into more of it. This gun will decimate in close range. If you were an average player, you would destroy people with this if you do that. You just need the hip fire. Its hip fire is it's almost halfway there. It's 46. So it's close to 50. But it just tears through people at close range, right? Its close range is just amazing. Now, the downside is its medium range and its long range is where you start to get outgunned. Its medium range, you could do stuff with it. You could do stuff at medium range perfectly fine, right? You have no issues with killing people, but you can get outgunned by certain weapons. And I've noticed that these 3 weapons that I've come across have always outgunned me most of the time in medium range, which is the UMP45, the AUG H-bar, and the FAMAS. I'm pretty sure there are other weapons too, but out of all the time I've been playing for that 1 hour, those are the 3 guns that have outgunned me the most in medium range. Any other gun you could probably take on if you're an average player. Now keep in mind, I'm like a little bit above average, but if you're an average player, you would have no problem. Now, we're going to go into how I feel the gun is. The gun is pretty good, right? And it's good at close range, medium range, substantial. At long range, I wouldn't really go for it. But as you can see in some clips, I do go for those long range shots, and I do become successful once in a while. I wouldn't suggest using this gun for a big crowd of people at medium range because the damage, you just really don't know how much damage you're doing, and it's just depressing. You'll probably get outgunned by many of them. It's not a gun to take on multiple people with at medium range. Maybe close range, go for it. Anything in close range, this gun will just eat up. Now, the gun is rather a 4 to 6 shot kill, right? Now, when I've been using this gun, I've always felt like I'm doing 4 to a little bit more than 6 at range. Probably because I'm hitting the arms and not their body. But I feel like it's a 4 to 7 shot kill when I've been using it. Because keep in mind that I think arm shots do less damage. Not completely sure because I've gotten 8 assists with this gun. And you'll probably see that in the Metro part of this gameplay. Now, let's get into attachments that I like with this gun. Now, I want to set up this gun in a way that its hip fire and sight accuracy are pretty well. Now, I'd go for a vertical grip. That boosts up the hip fire accuracy. And out of all the suppressors you would unlock in this 1 hour period, go for an R2 suppressor. It doesn't lower your long range damage that much. It brings it down to a 17.1, I believe. So that's pretty good. Already stating that the lowest damage is pretty shit anyway. But I would go for the R2 suppressor. Now, out of sights, I felt that my favorite sights with this weapon was the Mars sight. And I didn't know why. I've never used the Mars sight before in my life. And when I used it, it looked strange. But I actually did pretty well with it. I like the Mars sight more than I like the EOTech, and I love the EOTech. I'd suggest going for a Mars sight, but I'd also suggest going for a C79 sight as well. That's a scope. It's 4 times scope, and that really complements its long range aspect and the hip fire aspect at the same time. This weapon can definitely hit long range because the burst, it makes the gun more controllable, and you could definitely go for long range shots. It's not advised all the time, but if you want to go for it, go for it. A kill is a kill, and you'd get extra points for that long range shot. So go for it. And another sight that I liked was the PKAS. Actually, no, not that. Scratch that one. The Comp Aim Point. That was a pretty good one as well. Those are the 3 sights I like. I like the vertical grip. And any type of laser is good. I had no issue with whatever you want to use as an other. I just go for a laser. Green laser, red laser. Go for it. Any type of laser is pretty good on this gun anyway. And that's pretty much all the attachments I like for this gun. That makes it pretty well balanced to a hip fire accuracy setup and a sight accuracy setup at the same time. The weapon's mainly going to dominate with its hip fire. Its sight accuracy can prove useful for long range. So it's basically an overall average gun, but it's a high average gun due to how you could bring the stats up, in my mind. And with the class setup I have on my M4 right now, let me just pull it up. Oh my, it doesn't actually change my stats, but my hip fire accuracy is almost all the way up, and my overall accuracy is higher than the sight accuracy, which is pretty strange, knowing that the sight accuracy has a plus 13 over its normal accuracy, which is, you know, kind of weird. But I feel like the best setup out of everything for this gun is a C79 scope, vertical grip, green laser, and R2 suppressor in the first hour. Now this is all the attachments you should unlock in the first hour of using this gun straight. Nothing else but this gun. And just a little side note, due to this gun's low damage in some aspects, you're going to be needing a pretty good secondary to kill some very weak foes. So go for a secondary that you could just pull out and shoot, hit the enemy once and they're down. Because this gun is also notorious for that sort of case where you're kind of left with your pants down, so just remember that. But anyway, I would really suggest using the M4. It's overall a really good gun, and I mean, I think you should stop judging it and use it. I hope this 1 hour grind was helpful. It made me cry a little bit, but anyway, this is